friends. My name is Michael Deschal. I'll be doing this presentation, Unleash the Power of Success. So how many of you consider yourself successful in life? Awesome. Every hand should go up. Because you are successful where you're at right now in life. Now we're going to talk about how to pace that out into the future a little bit, okay, as we go through this presentation. But first, we need to talk about some different things. I'll give you a little bit of my background first. I am a professional hypnotist, so I do stage hypnosis shows. I've been working with DECA for, I'd say, more than a decade now. And I've done state conferences, I've done magic, I'm also a professional magician. I've done magic shows, I've done hypnosis shows, I've done presentations, motivational presentations. I think that's it. Breakout sessions, all that stuff at all the conferences. So that's what I do. So there's a little bit about my background. I'm also a clinical hypnotherapist too. So my specialty is helping people achieve a level of success that's pertinent to their goals in life. So whatever your goals are in life, I can help you get there using the power of your mind. Okay? So we're going to talk about how the mind works a little bit today. We're going to talk a little bit about how success works with the mind and how you can mesh the two together to make it happen for you. All right, so to get that started, though, there's a quote in Latin. It's Credos quod habes et habes. What you perceive to be real is real. How many of you would believe that to be a true statement? What you perceive to be real is real. Yes? Absolutely. Okay, good. Okay, but what if we perceive to be real may not always be real, right? And I'll give you an example. A lot of people have fears. Anybody have a fear of spiders in here? Okay, good. Okay, there's no spiders in here. But if there was a spider in the room, even a big spider like this big, you could perceive it, if you have a fear of spiders, that spider could come over and eat you. Now we know that that's not going to happen. So it's an unrealistic fear, isn't it? It's unrealized, it's not a real perception of what can actually happen. So what we perceive to be real may not always be real. So be careful with that one. However, when it comes to success, most definitely. If we perceive ourselves to be successful, your mind automatically goes to your dominant thoughts. So whatever you think about the most is what you're going to manifest into a reality in your life. So get that into your heads right now, thinking those positive thoughts, okay? Now, so what is the difference? Well, we're going to talk about that through this presentation. Now, I want to talk about the story of success, though, first. In every profession, and which you guys are now, most of your students, yes?
Yes.
Okay. With the one exception of the accountant in the middle of the room. Thank you very much. Yes. He'll be counting beans later for you all. Now, obviously, that's his profession, that's his vocation. And we love people in accounting because people like me who suck at math love people who do accounting, okay? Because then I don't have to do it. So I like that. Now, the rest of you are all students. That's your profession right now. So why is it in every profession, no matter what your profession is, there's always those that are uber successful, I mean, way like hitting it out of the park successful, right? And why are there those that are just barely scraping by, or just barely staying afloat? Why is that? Now, I'm going to ask you some questions throughout this presentation. Some of the times I'm going to give you the answers, but I want you to start thinking about the questions then. The answer is the difference between those two, the uber successful and those that are just barely scraping by, is merely about the choices that they make. Now, I was talking with our accountant earlier, and he talked. Look at these quotes on board. I really love it too, because I want to point them out. Experience comes from bad judgment, bad choices, right? That's how we learn. We learn through failure. Failure. Is it okay if I use the F word in here? Failure. That F word, not the other. I don't know what you were thinking. I'm talking about the F word, right? A lot of people think of it as the F word, though, don't they? When you fail, you learn, you grow. So I want you to not be afraid of the F word of failure, okay? Also, I like this other one. Good judgment comes from experience. Yeah. And where do you get experience? Through failure. So fail often, fail big. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. So now, next question. How far is the gap between the different levels of success? How far is it between the uber successful and those that are just barely scraping by? Here's the answer. As big as you allow it to be. That's it. That difference is not like this. It's only as big as you allow it to be in your perception, in your mind. What you perceive to be real is real in this case. Now, here's the final question. What is the difference between a silver and a gold medal? Don't say the medal. Anybody have any ideas?
A place.
What is it?
A place.
A place, so first place, second place, right? What else?
Everybody remembers who got the gold medal.
Everybody remembers who got the gold medal, that's right, yeah. I got the silver medal. Oh yeah, I don't remember that, yeah. So yeah, right. Everybody remembers who got the gold. What else? What are some other answers? Yes, sir. As much as you perceive it to be. Okay, here's the real answer. Are you ready for this? I know. You're waiting for this. Trimming your fingernails. Yeah, I get the same look every time I do this presentation. I get that. Let me explain, okay? I had an opportunity to work with an Olympic swimmer. And the Olympic swimmer, basically, he said this. Because you know in swimming, right, it's whoever touches the wall of the pool first wins. Whoever touches it next gets second place, gets a silver. Third gets a bronze. Fourth gets a T-shirt and a sign that says, oh, at the Olympics. And all I got was a stupid T-shirt, right? Okay, yeah, they get to go home. But they still competed in the Olympics, so good for them. So he told me this. I won by 1/1000th of a second. Gold. If I would have trimmed my fingernails the morning before the race, I would have gotten a silver. See, it's not this big of a difference. It's that big of a difference. It's all how you perceive it. So if you don't think you're uber successful right now, go look in the mirror when you get home tonight and say, I was wrong thinking that, I am. I'm exactly where I need to be right now. I'm as successful as I need to be right now, and tomorrow may change. I will be more successful then. So start thinking about that. All right, so now let's move on. Let's talk about how the brain works, how the mind works, because this is where it gets into the hypnosis part. Okay, the brain works this way. You have two basic parts. Now, any psychology majors in here? Fabulous, okay. You're going to find this is different than what you're going to learn in psychology, but fundamentally the same, okay? In as much as I'm not going to cover all the different aspects or parts of the brain, but I'm going to cover the two general areas. We've got the conscious mind, which is your analytical mind. So if this was your brain, this is the top part of your brain. It analyzes everything. You're analyzing everything right now. You're analyzing how hard the chairs are, the temperature of the room, the fact that I talk with my hands because I'm Italian. See, if I put my hands in my pockets, Italians talk with their hands, okay? So now, and the jokes don't get any better, so analyze like you want. All right, now, that's your analytical mind. You analyze everything. It's also your filter. So everything that you see and encounter and experience in life, all your senses, your sight, your hearing, your sense of touch, your sense of smell, your sense of taste, and even in your intuitive senses. Everything that you experience in life goes through this filter. And then your mind decides where to store it. If it's really important, you'll store it in an important place. If it's not as important, like what you ate for lunch Tuesday, March 13th, 2003. Can anybody remember what they ate for lunch that day?
Something.
Something. Oh, good answer. Yeah. No, nobody can remember that because it's not important. Now, what if that day was your birthday, though? And it was a milestone birthday, like your 18th birthday, and your parents took you to this fancy restaurant, you probably remembered exactly what you ate. So it gets filtered and filed according to importance. Now, the last part about the conscious mind is this. It's where all the voices are. You know the voices that we all hear, right? Not the ones you need medication for. That's still different. If you laugh, you know what I'm talking about, right? Those are different kinds of voices. I'm talking about the voices, the Jiminy Cricket, the conscious in our mind. The angel on one shoulder, the devil on the other. You should do it. You can do it. I know you can. You can't do it. It's way too hard. You're not good enough. You'll never be able to do that. Those voices, we need to listen to this guy over here. You want to listen to the good voices, not the negative ones, not the disparaging voices, not the voices that tear you down. But that's where those voices are in your conscious mind. That's why in the movies, they always illustrate it that way. They've got an angel on one shoulder, a devil on the other. You've all seen it in cartoons and movies because we all have those. That's our conscious mind. It analyzes everything and debates everything. Now, when we get to our subconscious mind, though, that's where things get fun. That's where things get real. That is our literal mind. Everything you receive in your subconscious mind is taken literally. It's either yes or no, right or wrong, on or off, or black or white. There's no maybe in that area. It's one or the other. It's taken literally, exactly how it's presented, and that's how it is, at face value. Now that's also your hard drive too. That's where all the memories are stored. Everything from the moment the doctor slapped your bottom and you cried for the first time, and even before that, I'm sure, all the way until you take your dying breath and close your eyes for the last time. And maybe even after that, we don't know. Everything that happens between those two areas is stored in your subconscious mind. Never gets forgotten. Again, might get filed someplace like what you ate for lunch on March 13th, 2005. Honestly, that's not important. So it gets filed someplace different. So everything gets stored there, though. It's all there. Never gets forgotten. Largest hard drive you'll ever need, ever expanding. Now, It's also where you store your morals, values, ethics, and beliefs. This is actually the hypnotic safeguard right here. This is a safety net that says in hypnosis you cannot be made to do anything against your will. So all these stories you read about the internet about some guy was under hypnosis and robbed a bank because the hypnotist, that's all bullfucky, okay? That stuff's not real. You can't be made to do anything you don't want to do, okay? Because it would violate your morals, values, ethics, or beliefs. So hypnosis is entirely safe. Now, we'll get to hypnosis towards the end, so you'll all have a chance to go into a light state of hypnosis today if you choose. And it'll be fun for you and very relaxing, I promise. So how do you move forward in life? How do you become successful? First of all, you got to smash all the old bad habits. You got to get rid of old habits and past failures. So how do you do that? 3 easy steps. First of all, recognize that they do not help you. How many of you have ever done something really, really embarrassing in life? No way, right? Sure, okay. You're like, I'm not going to raise my hand. You're going to pick on me. No, I won't pick on you, I promise. If you've done something really embarrassing in life, you know what I mean? It's hard to let that go. It really is. How many of you have failed in life before? If you're not raising your hand, you're lying. Okay? Because we've all failed before. So you can hang on to that. You can go, gosh, I never want to do that again. I never want to do that again. I don't want to do that again. I certainly don't want to fail again. I don't want to do that embarrassing thing again. What do you think you're thinking of all the time now? How you're not going to do it. What do you think you're going to do? You're going to do it. Exactly. So that's why when you watch a good basketball player, like on the college level, even on some high school teams, but on the college level, in the pro circuit, you watch a basketball player, now think about it. They go to the free throw line. What does that mean? That's a free throw. Nobody's defending them. All they got to do is put the big orange ball into the big orange circle that they've practiced 1.5 million times in the last week. They shouldn't miss, right? And they miss. And then, you know what irritates me the most as a fan? Is they don't get upset about it. I mean, I'm going, come on, you should make that! And they're going, no big deal. And their friends even like high-five them when they miss. And they pat them on the butt, and they say, do it another, do it again, try it again. They don't say, dude, you suck. Right? They're like, they high-five and miss. I'm like, why are you high-fiving him? He missed. You should be yelling at him. The coach should be screaming right now, right? No, they let it go. That's one shot, independent of any other shot they'll ever take in their life. If they sit there and dwell on it, and they go, oh man, what do you think they're going to do with the next shot? They're going to miss. So they move on. They let it go. They release it. They realize it does not help them to hang on to that stuff. Step number 2, like I said, release it, let it go. Step number 3, change your attitude. Now, how many of you have ever heard that before? Usually by your mom. And she usually stands with one hand on her hip or both hands on her hip. And she's usually tapping one foot. And she's usually pointing at and said, you better change your attitude, little mister, right now. And she'll even do that. Right? You've all heard it before. Maybe you've heard it from a teacher, a coach, a mentor, a parent, a friend. Let me give you a little advice right now. When somebody says change your attitude, listen to them. They are seeing something in you that's not complementary to who you really are. So they're trying to help you. It's like when somebody offers you a breath mint, never say no. Yeah, because they're smelling your breath. And chances are you might need it. Okay? So graciously accept it. When somebody says change your attitude, graciously accept that advice. Look in the mirror and figure out what it is you're not doing that's going to be complementary to you as a person. Okay? I have bad days too. My wife is in the back of the room. She's the one running video. That's Billy. And she reminds me of that too. She'll say that. She'll say, change your attitude, mister. And I'm like, yeah, you know what you're talking about, woman. She does. Dang it. She's always right. So change your attitude. Now, if you don't believe this works, I will tell you this. The attitude is all you have left. The government has not figured out how to tax your attitude. They're working on it, though, I promise. It'll be in the next Obamacare revision. Yeah. Now, you laugh, but don't go there. Changing your attitude may be very well one of the last few things you can do for free in life. It's the only thing you have control over. Honestly, it really is. You cannot control anything else in life. You can't control traffic. You can't control what other people do. But you can control your attitude, how you respond, how you react to them. Changing your attitude is the last free thing you can do in life. Now, if you don't believe me, just ask Jerry. Again, I get that look on everybody's face like, who's Jerry? I'll tell you Jerry at the end, remind me in case I forget. All right. Power of positive thought. A while back, I want to say about 6, 7 years ago, there was this big rave. It was called The Secret. Did anybody hear of The Secret? It was like a video, there was a book. It was all these motivational speakers got together and filmed this great series of how to become successful, how to manifest things you want in life. And it was all based upon the law of attraction. Now, I love the law of attraction. It's a great law. Basically, it says what you think about will be attracted to you. Now, there is this little bit of a misguidance on that, though. You do have to get off the couch, though. You got to do the work, okay? There's a saying in sales, it's called mind over mattress. You got to get out of bed to make the sales, okay? And whatever that means in your profession. You got to get out of bed and go to class. You're not going to learn through osmosis from your bed or your couch. Okay, so you got to do the work still. I like the law of expectation. Let me explain how that works. Okay, there's some sayings that I read once, and I'll quote them. Dream it, believe it, achieve it. I think that was on a Hallmark card once. Sounded good, so I remembered it. There's another one. Think it, want it, go for it, get it, and live it. I like this one especially because, see, you get to celebrate what you get at the very end. So you think about it, you want it, you go for it, you get it, then you actually get to play with it. That's the best part. You get to live your dreams. Nothing better than manifesting some dreams in your life and then getting to play with them, getting to have fun, enjoy it, okay? This is the one I use all the time in my office with my clients. I tell them, recognize it, acknowledge it, understand it, know it, accept it, and believe it. Let me explain what that means. First of all, recognize it. Recognize that there's something you need to change in your life to become successful. Acknowledge that you can. Acknowledge that you have a little issue with it and you can move forward. Understand it. So become a student of success. What is it that you're trying to be successful at? Learn all you can about that and practice everything you learn. That's how you become an expert at it. Then, know it. Know that you can do this. Accept that it is a gift to you from yourself to be successful. And then believe it. Remember where beliefs are stored, right? The subconscious mind. Beliefs are the most powerful thing we have. Nothing can change your beliefs except for you. Nothing nor no one. I can't, even as a hypnotist. I can't hypnotize you and say, you now believe this. Because that would go against your morals, values, ethics, and beliefs, right? You have to change your own beliefs. When you change your own beliefs, when you start believing right now that you are successful, then you are. It's that simple. What you perceive to be real is real. Greatest quote, hottest at hottest. Now, how does this all work, though? There's an old paradigm that says motivation lies in between pain and pleasure. Now, let me give you an example of this. How many of you have jobs? Okay. You look forward to those 3-day weekends, don't you? Yeah. Okay, so let me set the scene. You go into work, and most of you are still very young in this room. So you're probably still very excited to go to work, although we all have our days. Okay. I'm very excited when I go to work every single day. I love what I do. Now, but I used to work in an office. This office was for the county. And there was this lady, Carla. Carla was very unhappy. Now, she used to come into work even on a Friday of an upcoming 3-day weekend. Everybody else is like, hey man, 3-day weekend coming up. Ooh, just got to make it through Friday. All right. She'd come in and she'd go, oh gosh, oh jeez, it's Friday. 8 long, treacherous, boring, suffering hours until vacation. And then it's only 3 days. And then we have to come back and all the work will be piled up waiting for us. That's pain, isn't it? Then there's the other people. 3-day weekend coming up. 8 hours and we're out of here. I'm going to San Diego. My feet are already burning in the sand. I can feel it. How many of you know those people? How many of you are those people? That's really cool if you are. Tone it down a little bit. That's a little too crazy though, right? Yeah. 7 hours and 59 minutes. We're almost there. We're going to have that lunch today with the boss, and normally it's like, you know, wah, 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 but it's going to go by fast today because he's buying lunch. It's going to be awesome. 7 hours and 58 minutes. Dude, I'm there. Give me some skin. I can feel my skin burning on the beach already. That's pleasure, isn't it? So if you do anything in life, never run from pain. Always run towards pleasure. Now you're probably thinking, and even the arrows show that, that's the same direction, isn't it? Yeah, but it's your attitude though, isn't it? You can be Carla and say, oh geez, all I have to do is survive the day. Or you can be this person and say, 7 hours and 57 minutes, and be excited about it. It's a choice, isn't it? What do you think Who's going to finish their day quicker? It's still the same 8 hours, right? Who's going to finish it quicker in their mind? That person. Now, I believe in shifting paradigms. So this is the shift that I like to look at. Motivation lies between hope and expectation. See, it's not as bad as pain and pleasure. Pain sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? Hope doesn't sound nearly as bad. Hope sounds pretty good compared to pain, right? Move from hope to expectation. Hope does still sound a little desperate though, right? I hope this day goes by fast. I hope this presentation goes well. I mean, sitting in the back of the room, when I first started, there were 4 or 5 people in the room. Okay? I expected a full room. And even up to a couple minutes ago, people were still coming in. See, I didn't hope that the presentation would be okay. I expected it would. After all, this is DECA. Come on. My expectations are really high for DECA because I know who you people are. And I know how professional you are. And I know you'd be here. So you see, I don't have to hope about anything happening. I expected it. When I drove up from Tucson this morning, I expected there was a reason why I put my suit and tie on. Why I got dressed up on my only free Saturday that I had between now and the end of August. And when Daniel Kelly said, can you come and speak at our thing? And I said, what's the date? And he said, today. And I said, you got the last free Saturday I have between now and the end of August. I have a travel schedule that's just crazy. So I expected that this would be worth it. And I know I won't be disappointed. So move from hope towards expectation, always in life. But don't run away from hope. Run towards expectation. It's all about attitude. It's just a mindset, isn't it? Okay. Now let's move on here. How do you do this? Well, first of all, you have to focus with intent. You have to set goals. Now, I know what some of you are thinking already. Oh, here we go. He's going to talk about the SMART goal thing again. Okay. How many of you know what SMART goals are? Okay. How many of you have been through that seminar like 1.5 million times? Good. We're going to do it again. All right. If you don't know what they are, let me explain. It's really simple. And I'll explain why. For those of you that have gone through it before, why do I even bring it up? I'll tell you why. Because it works. And those of us that know how to work the system, use it. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes I don't write my goals down. Sometimes I don't do this. And guess what? I have a harder time achieving them. When I set my goals, when I write a list of things I need to accomplish, guess what? It always gets done in record time. So here's what it is. SMART is an acronym. S stands for specific. When you're setting goals, be as specific as possible. The more specific you are, the more likely you are to achieve those goals. First and foremost, before you even get specific, you must write your goals down. If you do not write them down, there is no neural connection between the brain and the rest of your body. Okay? Come on in, ladies. Grab a seat any place you like. So you have to be specific. I'll give you an example. I had a friend who sold real estate in Tucson, one of my best friends ever, and he wanted to buy, at the time, this was a number of years ago, I just won. He wanted to buy a brand new car. It was the Nissan 300Z. Okay? Really cool sports car. So he went and looked. Now he knew it was about a, I don't know, $45,000 car or something at the time with all the packages he wanted to get on it. It was pretty pricey, high end, right? And so he knew that he wanted to pay cash for that car. He did not want to finance it. But as a realtor, he worked on commission. He knew that was 3 or 4 good houses that he had to sell, in addition to covering all of his other bills. So he knew it might take him a little while, but nonetheless, he went to the dealership and he looked at the car. He used all of his senses. He touched the car. He felt what it felt like. He opened the door. He sat in the driver's seat. Felt what the leather seat felt underneath his tushy. He started the car up, took it for a test drive, knew exactly what the engine sounded like, knew what it felt like underneath his hands on the steering wheel. He knew what it smelled like. That new car smell. Definitely knew what it looked like. He knew exactly what color he wanted. He knew what interior. He knew what kind of rims. He knew what kind of wheels. He knew what everything he wanted in the car. He could visualize that car, and he told me about it every time he saw me. I was going to buy the car just to shut him up. Because every time I heard about the car, he had brochures of the car. Showed me every time he saw me. Because he wanted that connection with that car. He even tasted the car, I think, at one point. It's odd, but hey, if it works, do it, right? He knew everything about that car. He was as specific as possible. Don't just say, I want a new car. What's that mean? Right? So be specific. You have to be measurable, too. How do you know when you get your goals? How do you know how far away you are or how close you're getting? Okay, if you've ever taken a road trip, like say to Disneyland or San Diego, 2 hot spots where we all Arizonans go, right? Okay? How do you know when you're getting there? Well, you can just drive aimlessly, right, and hope that you eventually land there, right? Or you have a roadmap. You know to get from here to Disneyland. You hop on the 10, you eventually connect over to the, well, there's a couple of ways, but you connect to the 5 and you fall into the parking lot. You don't want to wait till you get there to find out that you're there. You want to know along the way. And if you have kids, they will bug you the whole way. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Many of you probably did that. Okay? So you have to be measurable. You have to know the steps along the way. Third, action plan. Now, I've seen other formulas that they use the SMART goal formula and they call it achievable or attainable. That's fine too. I like to say A for action, action plan. You got to have a plan, right? You got to know when you're driving to Disneyland which direction you're going to go. You just can't get in the car and go, hey, let's just go, and hopefully we get there, right? You got to go the right direction, otherwise you're going to end up in Texas, someplace else, okay? So you have to have a plan of attack. It has to be realistic. Your goals must be realistic. They have to be something that you can achieve. Now, for me, I'll never be an NBA basketball star. Shocking, I know. I was in the band. I don't play basketball very well. I'm short, and I don't jump very high, and I suck at basketball. So it'd be an unrealistic goal for me, wouldn't it? Now, if I really wanted that goal, I would have had to start it a while ago. I would have had to even practice more at basketball. It's not my goal. It's not my passion. So it's not realistic for me. So there are some physical limitations that we all have. So make sure you honor and respect those along the way. You have to have a timeline. A goal without a timeline is nothing more than a dream, really. When are you going to start? When are you going to finish? Put those dates down on the calendar. I start the goal today. I start saving for that new car today. And I want to have it by this day. Now, what happens if you don't reach your goal by that day? Is it a failure? What do you think? Yes, no? No? Change the date. It's your goal. You can. But I'll tell you what, though, if you don't set a date, I want to buy a new car. Not very specific. I want to buy a new car. Yeah. How long do you think somebody would say that before they get a new car? A long time. A lot longer than they say, I want to have a new car in 3 months. I guarantee you, almost always, people will achieve those goals before the deadline. But if you have to stretch it a little bit longer, that's okay. It's your goal. You have that power to do that. Who knows, you might even change the goal a little bit along the way. You have the power to do that too. It's all about you. Goals are very personal. They have to be. Nobody can set a goal for you. I can't say, you must do this when you get older. You would say, who are you? You're not even my dad. You can't tell me that. Right? Do what it is that makes you happy. That's what will make you successful. It's all about that. Now, there are some other formulas. Now, I have changed the SMART goal formula to this. Another gentleman who's also a speaker, a friend of mine in Tucson, he came up with this acronym, and I said, hey, let's tweak that, and we decided this is what it should look like. It's the same acronym as the SMART goals: specific, measurable, action plan, realistic, and timeline, except we added this letter at the end, the Y. Because it sounded cute, SMARTy goals. But it also made all the difference in the world. Why are you doing this? Why sounding synonymous like the word why? Or you could make it you, like why is this important to you, right? That's the most important letter in the whole formula there. Why is this goal so important? Why are you doing it anyways? Are you becoming a doctor just because your parents said you should become a doctor? It's never going to work. Okay? You could probably make it work, but you won't be really, really happy if you wanted to be a pilot instead. So you have to do it for the why. As a matter of fact, this is so important it actually should go all the way at the top. But that would sound stupid if it was Y-SMART. So we put it at the end. Now, I came up with a couple other acronyms that I wrote in the book, the Cliff Notes to this seminar, Unleash the Power of Success. Faster goals, and you're going to start to see some similarities. My point in doing this is to show you that you have the power to create your own acronym. It'll all have some very, very similar characteristics. Focus. You got to focus on what you want. It's important to you. It has to be attainable or realistic, right? Start to see the similarities. It's got to be specific. Most definitely, we know that. You got to have some tools. What tools do you have at your disposal to become successful? What knowledge do you have? What skills do you have? Who can you call on to help you as a tool? Do you have a mentor, a parent, a friend, a teacher, a relative, somebody that can help you along the way? Evaluate and eliminate. Find out what works along your roadmap. Find out what doesn't work. Experience failure along the way. And if you experience failure, go around it, go through it, go under it, go over it. Get past it though, okay? So evaluate and eliminate along the way. Lastly, it must be within your reach. But just out of reach, but not out of sight. That's the important thing. If a goal is too easy, it's not much fun in achieving it, is there? So some of them will be easier than others, but all goals should be just out of reach, so you have to stretch and grow a little bit, but not out of sight, so you can't even see the end. Now there's another one I came up with, strong goals, specific, timeline, there again you're going to see some similarities. Resources, what tools, resources do you have? One step at a time. How many of you think you're awesome at multitasking? Okay, how many of you can text and walk at the same time? Yeah, still new for me, right? Okay, now, I will tell you this. If you think you're good at multitasking, you are mistaken. When you multitask, and all the scientific research backs this up, you decrease your effectiveness by 40%. On not just the one event, but both of the things that you're trying to accomplish. That's why texting and driving is so dangerous. You cut your driving skills by 40%, and your texting skills too. Don't do it. Now, sometimes we have to. We're forced to, not drive and text, but I mean we're forced to do two things at once, right? Try to give all the focus and attention you can to the thing that you're working on at that given time, even if you're switching back and forth. But if possible, do one thing at a time. Get it done, and then move on to something else, whether it's entirely different or part of that same task. But don't try to do them at the same time. You will always lose in the end. It doesn't work. Negotiate obstacles. That's that evaluate and eliminate again. Try to get around the problems that come along the way. And yes, life is full of problems and obstacles and trials and tribulations. Get over that now. Old people like me, they say, yeah, it doesn't get any easier. And we don't mean that to scare you. But honestly, the more money you make, the more responsibilities you have, the more things you do in life, the more obstacles you're going to run into. It's just a fact. So get over that right now. It's in your attitude, remember? Now, go for it, and go for it with gratitude. Gratitude with everything that you do. You should be grateful that you're here at GCU today. You could have been sleeping in on this Saturday. You could have blown it off. You could have just gone to the movies. You could have done nothing. But you're here. Be grateful for that. This is an opportunity for you. Be grateful in everything that you do. Everything that you have. Because you know what? As bad as you think it might be, there's a million other people that have it 1 billion times worse than you. So always be grateful. And go for it too. You got to get off the couch, right? Nike built a regime out of just do it, right? Just do it. If you crash and burn along the way, that's okay. See, let me talk to you about failure for a second. And this, if you get one thing out of this, I want you to hear this loud and clear. It's okay to fail. It's totally okay to fail. And if you do it, you need to fail big. I mean like hair, blood, spit, body parts, flying everywhere. Mushroom clouds, okay? Not literally, okay? But if you fail, fail big. And when you do fail big, call me. We'll laugh, we'll cry, we'll hug. We'll celebrate, okay? Because that's when you learn the most. If you've ever seen an Olympic runner, the guys that jump over the hurdles, the ones that trip and fall, they never just go, oopsie, I fell a little bit, and then they keep running. No, they bite it. They crash and burn. Because if they just trip a little bit, are they running full on? That's not how you win a race. You never win a race by not running full on. So you got to play full on in life. If you fail, fail big. That means you were running full steam ahead. Crash and burn, as long as it's not physically. Okay? It's okay though to fail. If you get one thing out of today, get that. Look forward to it, because you'll have many more as life comes your way. And I wish you all the success in your failures that you have. Think about those words. Now, how do you map your mind to make this happen? Well, there's a couple steps. First of all, connect the goals to all the various modalities. Modalities is a fancy way of saying your senses. Okay? Remember we talked about converting your thoughts into vision, noise, feeling, sense, and taste, just like my friend with the car. He knew what it smelled like. He knew what the new car smelled like. He knew how the car felt. He knew how it handled on the road. He knew what it sounded like. And like I said, you might have even known how it tasted too. He's weird. Intentionally turn your thoughts into action. Get off the couch. Don't just think about it. Actually get out and do it. Now, let's talk about having some fun here. We're going to do a little visualization activity here in just a moment or two. But I'm going to tell you why this is so important. You deserve to spend the time every single day, some quiet time just for you. Whether you call it prayer, whether you call it meditation, whether you call it hypnosis, whether you call it just zoning out, daydreaming. Doesn't matter what you call it, it's all the same. Okay? But you need to spend time on you. How do we do this though? You remember how the conscious and subconscious mind works. We got to move past the analytical part of the mind. How do we do that? We just get really, really relaxed. Just like when you go to the movies. How many of you have ever gone to the movies, laughed, cried, or have been scared? At the appropriate time, I hope. Yes. Okay. Now, but why though? You realize they're just pictures on a screen. It's not real. Why do you jump when the boogeyman comes around the corner? Because you believe it's real at that moment in time. Now you know after the movie's over that reality goes away and you go back to regular life, right? So you need to create that movie in your mind though. Not the scary one. You need to create the movie of your goals in your mind. And then it becomes real. And the more you do that, if you do that daily, that's all you'll be thinking about. Or at least the dominant part of your thoughts will be that. And you will be successful then. You will get that faster and more intense than you ever thought you could in your wildest imagination. So turn your thoughts into beliefs. Now, let's talk about some of these myths about visualization and hypnosis. First of all, it's not paranormal. It's not supernatural. It's not crazy, scary, and spooky. I cannot hypnotize anybody. I can help you to go into hypnosis. But see, watch. I'll hypnotize you right now. Ready? Are you ready? Sleep! See, it doesn't work that way. I've got no special powers. If I had that kind of power, I would get my 18-year-old daughter to clean a room on a regular basis. I don't even have that kind of power. Okay? All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. Therefore, you're in complete control the whole time. So it's something we do dozens of times a day. How many of you have ever been driving down the road and forget about the last 3 miles? It's called road hypnosis. You laughed, cried, and been scared in a movie. That's called movie hypnosis. Because what you're seeing is not real yet. You accept it as real. It's all the premise of hypnosis. It's just like daydreaming or zoning out. So anybody can do it. Now, how do you do it? It's easy. Now, don't follow along just yet. I'll give you a chance to catch up. You just sit back and you get comfortable. It's all about being comfortable, right? If you have an itch on your nose, scratch it. Otherwise, it'll just drive you crazy and it'll distract you. Second thing is you put your feet flat on the floor. Because sometimes when your eyes are closed, if you're sitting in a chair, you could lean one direction or the other. And if your legs are crossed, you tend to lose balance and you fall out of your chair. As hysterical as that looks, it's not fun for you. Okay, so we don't want anybody falling out of their chairs. You close your eyes, not yet. I'll give you a chance to catch up. Because that eliminates one of the major distractions we have in life, visual. Okay, you'll still have your auditory senses. You'll take a nice deep breath. Very important that you continue doing that. See, if you stop breathing, we have a medical term for this. It's called dead. So nobody gets to die in here, okay? All right. I've been 53 days accident-free. No, I'm just kidding. 54. So listen to the sound of my voice at all times. You'll always hear the sound of my voice. Now here's the deal that I'm going to make for you. If you do this with me, you'll find it very relaxing. Will you go into hypnosis? Yeah, most of you will, to at least a light level. Will you be in complete control at all times? Absolutely. You will. I'll make a deal with you. If you feel uncomfortable at any time, all you have to do is this. Open your eyes. That puts the brakes on, for you at least. Now, if I catch you opening your eyes, I'm not going to embarrass you or call you out. I'm not going to say, dude, what are you doing? Really? I wouldn't do that to you. That's embarrassing. Why would I do that to you, right? I may look at you and have that conversation without even speaking a word. I may like, dude, you okay? And you look back and you're like, yeah, dude, I'm okay. I just want to make sure the room is still here, yeah? That conversation without even saying a word, okay? So it'll be very relaxing and it will help you to focus on the rest of the day. So, are you ready to try this? Now, and again, this is not a violation of morals, values, ethics, or beliefs. If you have a particular religious belief that you don't feel like you want to do this with me, that's perfectly fine. Just sit there quietly. If you're sitting next to somebody and you choose not to participate, I fully appreciate that and I respect that. But just don't bother the person next to you, though. Okay? Don't do this. Just makes me mad, okay? All right, so just let them enjoy that. All right, so go ahead and sit with your feet flat on the floor, get comfy. You can put your hands on the desk or in your lap, whichever you feel more comfortable with. Don't close your eyes yet, I'll tell you when to. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale. You want to feel what hypnosis feels like? Watch. Close your eyes real quick. Everybody close your eyes. Open your eyes. That's what it feels like. Just a little bit more relaxing there, okay? Let's take another nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. I'm going to start some music in just a minute. I will lower the volume of that if it's a little too loud. But you'll hear the sound of my voice and the music the whole time. When we're done with this demonstration, I'll count forward from 1 to 5. I'll have you open your eyes. You're going to feel great, okay? Another nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Notice how more relaxed you are now than you were just a couple moments ago. Another nice deep breath in. This time, hold it. And when I count to 3, I want you to exhale and close your eyes. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Eyes closed. Just allow your mind to begin to drift and dream. Relax. You'll always hear the sound of my voice. I promise that. And if you hear any noises other than the sound of my voice or the music in the background, just let those noises drift away. You're going to hear noises out in the hallway. You're going to hear noises out in the hallway. People talking, people laughing. You may even hear a cell phone go off out there. Or maybe your cell phone vibrates on the table in front of you. You already know what those sounds are. So you can just dismiss them and let them go. I promise to take very good care of you. My job is to keep you safe while your eyes are closed. So while your eyes are closed, I will keep you safe. And of course, if the smoke alarm went off, you'd be able to open your eyes instantly because you're in complete control. But for now, just lend me the use of your imagination. Let your mind wander and drift, and then notice how easy it is to come back to the sound of my voice. And as you continue breathing at whatever pace is comfortable for you, just allow that relaxation to flow through your entire body. As a matter of fact, I want you to imagine, pretend, or make believe that you're standing in a beautiful shower of relaxation. The shower does not involve water, but it could be like a shower that you take at night before you drift off to sleep, or in the morning after you awaken to start your day, but with no water. Instead, with pure relaxation. And as this relaxation touches parts of your body, allow that part of your body to go into a deeper relaxation. Starting with the top of your head, flowing down over your forehead, your eyebrows, your eyelids, your eyelashes, the bridge of your nose, the tip of your nose, your lips, your mouth, your cheeks, your chin, your jaw. Every muscle in your face, just relaxing and smoothing out as you drift deeper and deeper into relaxation. Down the sides of your head to where your temples are, your ears, your earlobes, your jaw, your neck. Down the back of your head to where your skull meets your spine, down each and every vertebrae as it sinks deeper into the chair. Allow your mind to wander and drift, and then always come back to the sound of my voice. Still very aware of all the things going on around you. You know where you're at. You're in a room. I'm standing in the front of the room still. Just peaceful, though, to let go. To forget about all the stress, worries, cares, concerns, doubts, anxieties, tensions, and fears of everyday life. Just let them drift away. See, nothing's more important right now than you. Giving yourself this time to relax and forget about all this stuff. This shower of relaxation now flows down into your neck. Your neck becoming so loose and limp, just like a rag doll, so relaxed. No tension. Down into your shoulders, your biceps, your elbows, your forearms. Your wrists, your hands, and your fingers, all the way down to your chest and stomach. Washing away all the stress, worries, cares, concerns, doubts, anxieties, tensions, and fears of everyday life. Washing them far, far away. Down into your hips, your thighs, the hollow of your knees, your kneecaps, your shins, your calves, your ankles, your feet, and your toes. This shower never ends, flows from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Never ending, continuously. Relaxing, peaceful, content. Still very much in control, though. So while you're in control now, I want you to think of something, a goal, that you want to accomplish within the next 2 weeks to 2 months. Whether it's acing your next exam, whether it's getting a job or getting a promotion at your job, completing a project, preparing a relationship or starting a new one. Maybe it's a financial goal, a physical goal, a spiritual goal. Whatever that goal is, it's yours, it's personal. So I want you to think of that goal now. See that goal in your mind's eye right now. See it as it becomes real. Make it tangible. Even if it's just a feeling, even if it's just your attitude that you want to work on, make it into something that's visual. Something that you can see, something that you can hear, something that you can feel, even smell or taste if that's appropriate. Now, visualize that goal. See it clearly in front of you. Make it a real, live, breathing object. Walk right towards it. And as you see yourself getting closer to achieving that goal, you find that you can embrace it, hold it, touch it, feel it, as if it were real. And now, start to feel the level of excitement increase inside of you as you make that goal a reality. What you perceive to be real is real. Feel what it's going to feel like when you accomplish that goal, but not just accomplish it. Smash it out of the park. Accomplish it beyond your wildest imagination. What's the level of excitement going to be like in your bodies, in your minds? And then when you share that level of excitement with your friends, with your loved ones, with people you trust, they will be excited for you too. Imagine the pride that they are going to feel for you. Imagine the pride you'll feel for yourself in knowing that you've been able to accomplish this beyond your wildest imagination. So let those emotions just well up inside of you and fill you with that good feeling, that positive feeling, that feeling of inspiration, motivation, that feeling of success. So now as I bring you back from 1 to 5, just know this. You can come back to this place in your own private mind anytime you choose. Effortlessly and easily, faster and deeper each and every time. You can come back here anytime you want. I would suggest that you do it daily. You deserve this time for you to allow you to see what success really feels like. On the count of 1, take a nice deep breath in. Filling your lungs with oxygen, allowing that oxygen to circulate through your body. On 2, your muscles becoming alert, alive, awake, and refreshed. On 3, feeling motivated, energized, empowered. On 4, another nice deep breath in. Your mind becoming alert and aware. And on the final count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes wide open, feeling fantastic, feeling great. So, how many of you had a nice relaxing experience? Good. How many of you were able to see your goal? How many of you made it into a tangible object? Fabulous. So, with practice, you can do this effortlessly and easily. Now, how long do you think you had your eyes closed? Anybody? 5 minutes? Anybody else? 7? It's actually closer to 10 minutes. So you experienced what we call time distortion. You didn't lose any time, you just lost track of it for a while. It's like being in Vegas. Okay, yeah, it's kind of just like that, right? So time distortion is one of the levels that you can achieve in hypnosis. It doesn't mean you lose time. It doesn't mean any time is missing from your life. But it's what we call one of the mnesic levels. The mnesic levels like amnesia, but again, Hollywood wants you to think of amnesia as you forget your own name for the rest of your life, right? We're talking about mnesic levels, like you lose track of time for a little bit. That is actually level 3 of 6 in hypnosis. So even on a light stage like that, you can create this imagery in your mind. You can create success. What you perceive to be real is real. Okay, now, let's wrap this up here. So how do you do this? How do you set yourself up for success? Clear the clutter. Get rid of all the past failures. All the bad experiences. Let them go. Organize your thoughts and your wants. What do you want in life? What's the why for you? Why is it so important? Visualize everything appropriately. Do this visualization every single day. I'm going to tell you how to do that at the end here. Now, make them accessible at all times. Make your thoughts accessible at all times. Make your visualizations accessible at all times. Be able to know what that new car smells like, feels like, tastes like, looks like. Everything, all of your senses. Now, take action. That's all that it takes, really. Connect the dots. Turn your thoughts into behaviors, and that's what happens. Use all of your senses, always, all the time, when setting goals. What's it going to feel like when you achieve that goal? That one especially. Animate your thoughts. Visualize with intent. Make those goals into living, breathing objects. It's where you can see them, where you can touch them, where you can hold them in your hands. Recognize, acknowledge, understand, know, accept, and believe. Move from hope to expectation. Now, I want to wrap up with this. A couple questions. What do Walt Disney, Lady Gaga, and you have in common? What is it?
I was going to say Disney and Lady Gaga, they're original, but then I saw you, and I'm like,
They all have goals. They all had goals, very good. They all have the ability to use their imagination, just like you guys do. Okay? I have this poster in my office. It's hard to read, so I wrote it on the bottom for you. It says vision, but it's Walt Disney where the castle was going to be. And if you know the story of Walt Disney, when he came up with this crazy idea about building Disneyland and Disney World, all of his family, his friends, his investors said, "You're crazy, dude. You're insane." If you would have believed them, we wouldn't have the happiest place on earth, right? Where all the kids cry. Yeah, you've been there, right? Okay. So it's kind of fun to do the impossible. That's what it says on the bottom. Vision. It's kind of fun to do the impossible. Do the impossible. So final thoughts. So who's Jerry? Let me tell you a story about Jerry. Jerry is a restaurant worker in South Philly. Jerry's one of those guys that you want to work with. He's the guy that's like this guy over here, like really excited all the time. As a matter of fact, when he changed restaurants to go get a better job, most of the employees quit and go with him. That's how much they love him. They want to be around him all the time. His positive attitude is infectious in the best way possible. So Jerry did something one day that no restaurant worker should ever do. He was managing a restaurant, and he was counting the money, or getting ready to count the money for the day, and he left the back door of the restaurant unlocked. Well, there were some thugs that were casing the area. They knew that was his way of doing things. They came in, one of them held him at gunpoint, and demanded he opened up the safe to give him all the cash. So as Jerry tried to open up the safe, his hands were shaking with fear, and his hand slipped off the dial. Well, the thug with the gun freaked out and shot him. So as Jerry lied there with a gunshot wound, the two thugs took off. Jerry was just lying there, thinking to himself, you know, I could choose to live or I could choose to die. Hopefully somebody finds me soon. One of his coworkers came and found him not moments later, called the ambulance, they got him to the hospital. When you go into the gunshot wound in the hospital, you get front of the line pass. That's like the ultimate fast pass. Okay? So they're in the OR, not nurses and doctors all milling around, all asking him thousands of questions like, what's your blood type? How old are you? Are you allergic to anything? And Jerry says, yes. Now, when they ask you if you're allergic to something, it's because they don't want to kill you with certain medications or things, right? So when he said yes, they stopped. And they said, what are you allergic to? He looked up at the doctors and nurses, and they all stood there waiting silently. He said, I'm allergic to bullets. Got their attention. And he said, please do this for me. Don't operate on me like I'm going to die. Operate on me instead. Now live. Change your attitude. It'll change your life. So that's Jerry. Now, I do have some books available if you guys want to purchase one. They're $10. They're in the back of the room. Any questions? Any thoughts? Did you guys have fun? Did you like it? Cool. I liked meeting you guys. You've been the best audience I've had all morning. You've been the only audience I've had all morning. So thank you very much. If you want to connect with me, you can do so on Facebook. You can find me there. If you like me, I'll like you back. Don't poke me, I'll slap you. But that's how you can get in touch with me. It was great meeting you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day here at the DECA conference. See ya.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.